lot of people want to, at least want to understand the correlation between law and finances. I'm just going to try to break it down for you a little bit in terms of the correlation and what we see here from a corporate standpoint, compliance. What happens a lot with corporate America, if you're not in compliance, you can end up spending hundreds of $1,000s to take care of those things from a corporate standpoint. From a personal financial standpoint, tax season, understanding tax law. How many of you guys have done your taxes already? Okay, got them mostly filed. You probably had to go through a book of the laws, and you might have to have a degree to understand those things, but understanding tax law can save you money or for that matter, pay out lots of money along those lines. Also, estate planning. The death tax is another thing that from a legal standpoint you want to have good counsel on. But also understanding that we have a responsibility and role as well in terms of helping to ensure that students and people have a better understanding about how to manage their money, and that's what our organization does. And that's why we need your help and support in terms of getting people on the right track financially so that people are not straddled in debt, understanding credit law, and understanding how those laws can help encourage better financial responsibility. So again, those are the kind of things that are needed and important in understanding why we feel that this forum here today with the law community is essential for financial growth and for financial stability. So with all that being said, we hope that you will leave here inspired and encouraged to help support our efforts long term. And also, one of the things that I also want to talk about is our students that are here. We have student volunteers from Emory and from Spelman that also came out to, but I want to recognize one in particular. I received this magazine in the mail, and I looked. Normally I throw these things away, and but I happened to look at it. It's the Georgia Trend. We're part of the Metro Atlanta Chamber and the Georgia Chamber, but most of the times I just look at them, don't really keep them. But this one I looked at a little harder because one of our students that helps coordinate our Emory campus is actually on the front cover, and it says Transforming Emory. And we just have a lot of great students that work with our organization, from Emory to Spelman, Agnes Scott, Georgia State, Georgia Tech, Kennesaw, and he's been in the program pretty much since his first year, and just wanted to bring him up to say a few words about his experience. So Nathan Meeks.
I'm Nathan Meeks. I attend Emory University. I'm a senior there studying finance and Spanish. I have been with EEI for a number of years now, I guess basically since my first year, as Sam said, and it has meant an unbelievable amount to me. There are two parts of EEI besides just the teaching and what I've learned from the sessions that really appeal to me now looking back on my experiences with EEI. I guess the first thing is that it has a teach the teacher approach, which means that while Sam could very well hire professional speakers to go to each and every school and impart upon students the importance of discovering the tenets of financial responsibility at the point in their life when they're just reaching the beginning of their financial independence, what's more important is that he makes students teach other students. That means we have to learn it, and then we have to teach it, which really makes sure that it's actually instilled in our values, and we impart upon others the same thing that we've already learned. The second is that he encourages things through institutions, through a match savings program. He's able to team up with other banks and things, and make sure that young people understand through incentives exactly the benefits of developing patterns of savings, understanding budgeting, credit and debt, etc. So to be short, EEI has meant amazing things to me, and I hope to grow up, be successful, and be able to give back to the organization. Thank you very much.
Tara McClure is Senior Vice President for UPS. She oversees the company's legal, compliance, and public affairs activities. A native of Kansas City, Kansas, Ms. McClure received her bachelor's degree in marketing and economics from Washington University, or WashU. We actually played them in Emory, so I know them very well. And she received her Juris Doctorate degree from Emory, so has those connections there. She began her UPS career in 1995 as employment counsel for the corporate legal department. In 1998, she was promoted to coordinator of labor and employment practice group and assumed responsibility for office management and technology administration for the legal department. Additionally, she coordinated the company's relationships with its core counsel network of outside attorneys. In 2003, Ms. McClure became Vice President of Operations for the Central Florida District. She was responsible for all aspects of the package pickup and delivery operations, managed more than 4,000 employees. Before returning to the corporate legal department, she also held a special assignment at UPS Supply Chain Solutions and served as corporate compliance manager. Prior to joining UPS, Ms. McClure practiced labor and employment law in Atlanta, representing employers in state and federal civil litigation. In addition to her corporate responsibilities, Ms. McClure is a member of various bar associations and serves on the boards of the Annie Casey Foundation and the Center for Working Families. It gives me great pleasure and honor to introduce to you Ms. Terry McClure.
Welcome to UPS, and Samuel, we're just so happy to have you here. UPS has been a sponsor and supporter of EEI. Our CFO, Scott Davis, I think was involved early on, and Sam works with our UPS Foundation, and so we're just pleased to have you here, and welcome to all of your guests. I want to start off this little talk real quick here with a policy book discussion, and this is our policy book at UPS. And it's not your traditional policy book in the sense that it has rules about when you start work or leave time or things of that nature. It's really a policy book that talks about sort of our enduring values, those policies that really establish UPS for the company that it is. Now, the first policy book was written in 1929, I believe. Yeah, 1929. And there have been several versions of it since that time. But for the most part, the policies have remained largely the same. And they really talk about who we are as a company. So on page 49 of the policy book, and we really do start most of our meetings in the corporate office with a policy book discussion. And if you look through my policy book, you'll see little dates on it where we had a discussion about a particular policy. And this is how we pass on our culture throughout the organization. On page 49, the policy states, I won't read you the whole thing, but I'll start off with, we make contributions to the UPS Foundation for charitable and educational purposes. It in turn contributes toward activities longer in range and broader in scope than any operating location alone could undertake to support with its designated contributions. Among the Foundation's contributions are funds awarded to organizations involved in education, urgent human welfare, and volunteer management and mobilization, with special focus on literacy. The Foundation's contributions benefit the public and help our company fulfill its responsibility as a corporate citizen. So I thought that policy pretty much talks about why we're here today. This is part of UPS's fulfillment of its responsibility as a corporate citizen, and I think EEI is a good organization for us to support because we do believe in literacy, not just the ability to read, but financial literacy. And I don't know if many of you all know that in our operations, a large part of our workforce are part-time students, our part-time supervisors. We actually recruit very heavily at many college campuses. And it's one of the few jobs where you can come in, you receive benefits, you have a decent wage, and you can still go to school and get your education. And in many locations, we have partnerships with many educational institutions where we have classes actually on sites in our operations. And what we found is that many of our students and our part-time supervisors have challenges in managing their money. And so EEI is a great program that we want to continue to encourage and support. And so we're just happy to have you here, Samuel. We applaud all of the work that you're doing in the community with students. And I'm happy personally to be able to support you in this effort. So thank you all for coming. Samuel asked me just to talk a little bit about UPS and the legal department specifically, since this is a law function, and then kind of open this up for questions. And I know that we're going to do this pretty quickly here, so I haven't prepared a long presentation. If I can.